This is entirely African driven. These African countries are making a treaty among themselves.
On the 1st of January 2021, continental trade between African countries took a very significant leap with the official commencement of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, AfCFTA. AfCFTA on inception was aimed at creating the world's largest free trade area, one that integrates 1.3 billion people across 54 countries, with the objective of tapping into a combined GDP of over $3 trillion. But here we are, over 1 year after the launch of the initiative. There is the feeling that the AfCFTA has been one large question mark so far. Why has it not created the promised trade empire? It is first important to note that Africans are well versed in regional trade and had for centuries operated regulated trade networks that covered vast inland distances. But somehow, the interference of colonial forces reshaped African trade to fit European industrial input requirements. This and poor post-independence leadership has resulted in structural defects of African trade such that have prevented meaningful trade integration from taking place. Trade between African countries has also been met by historic challenges such as closed borders or excessive border bureaucracy, bizarre import substitution policies, political disagreements, and occasional scuffles between foreign entrepreneurs and law enforcement. As promising as AfCFTA is, significant hurdles exist that may stymie the entire continent's economic development. One of which is the unresolved confusion of building a single continental market within which several dysfunctional regional markets already compete. This is evident in the unwillingness of many African countries to ratify all the articles of the agreement and the never-ending negotiations on the rules of origin, which is the intersection between trade and possible trade policy. The existing regional trade agreements are exclusive and differ widely from trade agreements elsewhere on the continent. Another reason why AfCFTA is struggling is the abysmal infrastructure that slows down the movement of any goods that need to be delivered across the border. Take, for instance, the 1,028-kilometer highway planned between Nigeria and Côte d'Ivoire. Construction for Nigerian section, the 66-kilometer Lagos-Badagry Expressway, started in 2020, but so far, only 17 kilometers of the road has been completed. This in itself is crippling the aim of AfCFTA. Of the 54 African countries that have signed the AfCFTA Pact, 43 of which have deposited their instrument of ratification, only 3 African countries, Ghana, South Africa, and Egypt, have met the custom requirement on infrastructure for trading. This represents a long shot from the full implementation of the agreement and can hardly be termed progress. To make the most of the AfCFTA, African heads of states will have to go beyond talking. Leaders across the region have the responsibility to ensure that policy, infrastructure, and adequate laws required for the initiative to fully take off for the benefit of peoples of the continent.